So I'd like to welcome theoretical CS researcher, podcaster, and beloved to 15251 Professor Anil Ada to SCS Office Hours. Before we begin, Professor, I'd like to get your reaction to something. This is something everyone would want to know.
I have seen this before.
Over, sideways, and under on a magic carpet ride.
A whole new world opened up in some sense, a whole new set of applications that we never thought, like intuitively when you look at some of the things that we can do in cryptography, intuitively if I describe to you, you would say there's no way you can do that.
Did you know that this would happen when you first recorded this?
I had no idea, and I did see this on Facebook, I believe. It's pretty cool. I like it. I mean, I don't get a lot of these things. I'm a bit old, but I like this one a lot.
So that was your first time being memed?
Certainly not.
Okay.
I'm sure not. No way.
We want to go back to your college days. So you did your undergrad, master's, and PhD all at McGill.
That's correct.
How did you manage to have different experiences at the same university? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a long time, of course, when you're doing undergrad, master's, and PhD at the same place. But you're growing up yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your interests change. Your friend group might change. But it's really up to you at the end of the day, how you want to whether you want to change your environment or not. You know, sometimes, I mean, if I'm honest with you, the reason I stayed for master's and PhD at McGill was because I really loved it at McGill and Montreal when I was an undergrad. And I did not want to change, in a sense. And that's okay too, right?
How was it transitioning to CMU then, after spending so much time at McGill?
I must admit, Canada, I really loved it. I felt like it was my home, my second home. And I was a bit sad leaving Canada, if I'm honest. But, at the same time, it was very exciting to be able to come to CMU, to a place like CMU. New adventure, and I was definitely ready for it. Challenging, but it was a very welcome challenge. I've been loving it ever since.
Let's get to 251.
Sure.
So how did you decide to make Penny Redshaw's the motivating giraffe your official mascot for the class?
It wasn't started by me personally. So, we have the homework writing sessions
Right.
on Wednesday nights. I think the TAs started to put up, before the writing session, these motivational draft, cartoons to, get the spirits up of the students. One semester, I think one of my head TAs contacted the artist and commissioned like a 251 drawing.
Nice.
Specifically. Ever since, I would say the giraffe has become the 251 mascot. Sadly, though, the artist is no longer doing the drawings.
Having the giraffe really helped us go through some of those writing sessions. You have said that assigning letter grades to students is often reductive. What would be an option otherwise?
I think, you want a system which can recognize the different talents and characteristics of the students. Assigning maybe badges to students based on, if someone's really active in lecture and asking really great questions or answering questions, if someone's active on the online discussion forum and they're contributing a lot that way, if someone is solving bonus problems in the homework, you see all of these things are very different from each other, but they're all very valuable. And a grade by itself, like a letter grade, does not capture the nuances of all these different kinds of contributions that you could be making. Why not, have a more refined, more interesting feedback mechanism?
So if you would assign badges to the faculty that we have at CMU, what badge would you assign to David Cosby?
David Cosby. Well, I could assign a lot of badges to David Cosby. He's one of my mentors, and I admire him a lot. And he's definitely one of the best teachers I know. Extremely intelligent and extremely passionate about what he does. Really cares about his students. 112 is a fantastic course, one of the, if not the best, intro to programming course in the world.
Mark Stellick?
Mark Stellick, the best advisor, academic advisor in the world.
I agree. Definitely.
Is he your advisor?
Yes, he's my advisor.
Yeah, so he's the legendary academic advisor.
What about Ryan O'Donnell?
Ryan O'Donnell is the best teacher I know. And he's one of my best friends too. The information that comes out of his mouth is pure gold, I think.
Pure gold is the badge.
Pure gold, yes.
A former student of yours said that the dating advice you gave them changed their life. What was the advice?
I actually give a whole lecture in 251.
Gale shape.
The Gale-Shapley stable matching algorithm, which can be interpreted as dating advice. The bottom line is that you should be proactive in asking people out. That's really the main message in some sense, and you can mathematically in some sense prove that this is the best strategy to do. I guess the student tried this strategy and it worked out for them, so I'm happy.
And many people don't know this, but you and Professor Akar invented Diderot,
Yes.
which some call Canvas but better.
Okay.
How did the platform come about?
Umut and I had similar ideas around similar times. We realized that, we believe that something better than Canvas or Piazza could be built. We decided to sort of work together and try to build this thing that would integrate the course content into the platform in a much better way. So it's not just, having discussions like you have on Piazza, but you can add your course content there. You can have your grade book there. You can have your course calendar there. But really, the most interesting feature for me when I'm using it in 251 is that the course content is uploaded onto the platform, and the students are able to, interact with the course content and ask, context-based questions. They can take their own notes if they want to, and things like that.
There's an urban legend, and I'm not sure where it came from, that the backend for the platform uses red-black trees. Is that true, or is it just something that the students have passed along?
I've never heard this rumor before.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not true.
So, one of your favorite problems in 251 that you claim is how you can solve an MP complete problem in polynomial time if you could time travel using a magic microwave.
Right.
After changing the field of CS forever by that simple microwave, what did you do with it?
What would I do? Well, I would mine some Bitcoin and become a billionaire.
Right.
And then I would solve my favorite math conjectures. And
Earlier, before anyone else has solved them.
yeah, exactly. And
Right.
then there's these millennium math problems.
Yeah.
Each has a price tag of $1 million. Right, so I sold them. Now it's not for the money, of course, because I've made a lot of money already from Bitcoin,
Yeah.
mining Bitcoin. So this is just for
All the laurels.
exactly. So now I become the most celebrated mathematician in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Probably we can make some breakthroughs in medicine. Maybe we can design more efficient solar panels and solve the world's energy problems. I would break all the crypto systems being used on the internet.
Yes.
So then I'll break into my friends' emails and see what they're telling about me.
So it's a mix of the best things in the world and the best things for you personally as well.
Sure, you
Yeah.
gotta think of yourself.
Yeah.
So this kind of thing is dangerous.
Right.
Yeah, so it cannot fall into the hands of the wrong people. But if it's in my hands, it's okay.
It's okay, right.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Now we come to a recurring segment of the show. It's called Lightning Round. Professor, are you ready for the lightning round? Then we'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
You recently started teaching a course called the Computational Lens with Professor Pravesh Kothari.
Correct.
In one sentence, tell us why a student should take this course.
Because everyone should have a good understanding of what computation is and how it's related to all the different areas of science, engineering, and not just hard sciences, but social sciences as well. It's kind of like asking why should everyone know some math?
So we have actually a few things that we would like you to look at from a computational lens.
Sure.
So how would you look at this from a computational lens?
Yeah, there's an interesting computational problem here. How did these things emerge?
Correct.
Right? So can something come from nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from the computational lens, I don't know. The time traveling microwave could maybe help us with this.
What about this?
I've never seen this in my life before. Oops, all berries. Yeah, so breakfast, you know.
What about this computational lens?
Yeah, I guess I know this, kind of know this person. It's a comedian, I
Yes,
suppose.
Pete Davidson. People are often struggling to find why he is sought after.
Is he like at SNL?
SNL, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much comment because I don't know him well enough to
Right.
say anything.
So would you say he's good looking and people should be...
Certainly not good looking.
Okay. It remains a paradox.
It remains a paradox. Maybe it's one of these undecidable problems.
Final one.
Okay, so where did you find this?
I cannot reveal my sources, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this is in the pandemic, right? So I was like growing a beard, of course, like
Right.
every other person.
Yeah.
And then, and then I decided, hey, I've never, seen myself with a mustache,
Mhm.
so I should try it out. You tell me whether it works.
I think you could pull it off.
Yeah?
For sure. Why do homework when you can watch Game of Thrones?
Yes. So the origin of this is, I guess, we cover cryptography in 251, and one of the homework questions is like, you have an encrypted message,
Mhm.
and you're supposed to decrypt it and see what the original message was.
And the
And the original message was what you read there, why do homework when you can watch Game of Thrones. So this was back in the day when I was a fan of Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Right, so I really was into it and I really loved it.
Follow-up question. Why watch House of Dragon when you can do homework?
Yeah. So it's funny because I am watching House of Dragon and I don't think you should watch it, instead of doing the 251 homework.
Okay.
I think the 251 homework is much more entertaining.
Thank you so much, Professor, for being on SCS Office Hours.
It was my pleasure, Mel. Let's do this again sometime soon. No. I mean, see, okay. You should cut this part out. Because,
Okay.
people are gonna judge me.